Egg Hunt 2026 The Grand Express came out recently, and it's pretty damn good. I finished everything a couple days ago, and I want to talk about it. Okay, well, not everything, because I don't have the launcher eggs, but I'm pretty sure I'll never get them. So, Egg Hunt 2026, made by Studio Koi Koi, notable for being under some of the same people that made the Great Yolk Tales from 2018, which is one of the most praised egg hunts, and probably in general, don't quote me on that. Not only notable for the team behind it, but also for having a $30 paywall before you can play it, which is 145 ringgit over here. Oh, so much money. I'm certain this is like the main reason for the 64% dislike ratio. That and the tons of bugs littered throughout the game. We'll get to everything later, but first let's talk about the price tag. From someone who has basically fully completed the game, is it worth the money? No. I think $30 is a bit too high. Some complaints came from it being on Roblox, a free platform filled with mostly free games. I've only paid for like 3 Roblox games in total, and they all cost Robux, which includes this game too. Some people don't know you can access the game through a Game Pass that costs, I'm not saying that number, I think that's around double the amount you pay with real currency. So alright, you can pay with Robux, it just costs a lot. Why isn't the price like $10 or $20? When setting a game to be paid by real money, Roblox gives you 3 options, 10, 30 or 50, each with their own set share percentage split among the devs and Roblox. $50 is an obvious no-go. In fact, I don't think any Roblox games will dare to even use that option. This game also launched a Kickstarter campaign last year, raising over $100,000 to help fund the game. Did it really need all that for a Roblox game? Well, apparently it costed them around $1 million to develop the game, which is just crazy amount in my eyes. Does all of this justify it being the way it's priced? I do think each penny that went their way is deserved. These aren't just random developers from left field after all. And video games do cost money to make. There is a free demo for everyone to play. It goes through chapter 0, 1, and 2, and it's like 30% of what the game has to offer. So I would say to check out the demo first, fully play the whole thing, and then on your own accord, buy the game if you like what you went through. Cause that's the same thing I did. Or hey, if one of your friends already has the game, tell them to let you leech off their purchase using the friend play system so you can fully play for free. That's a neat little feature. Now, for the actual game. Spoilers ahead if you want to play through it blindless. I quite recommend it because you understand everything better. But if you hate reading or simply don't care, then whatever. So, here's the watered down retelling of the story. You get dropped off by a taxi, similar to Yolk Tales, to Comet Point. There's eggs raining down from the skies, reminiscent of the egg drops from the first 2 egg hunts. You get a whistle from this bacon guy and get your first egg. Golden egg, not special. We'll get to that later. You meet this guy named Sulfrus who works at Omelette. Again, similar to Yolk Tales with Booker. You two argue for a bit before a big celestial thing comes crashing down, and the egg rain suddenly stops. The crash site's where you meet Pip, a mystical creature alien thing acting as the guardian for the sentry egg, the big thing that crashed down. Unfortunately, the sentry egg is broken, and its fragments are now all over Earth? Robloxia? Eggverse? Wherever this place is. Pete merges or shapeshifts into the whistle you got earlier, and becomes this sentient train conductor looking thing. You find a train nearby which got activated by a sentry shard, and now you, Pip, and Sulfrus go on a long train journey to put the pieces back together and restore the sentry egg. Along the way you discover new places, new friends, and of course, eggs. It's kinda in the name. The locations in order are Florentine Forest, Songhua Station, Creepy Castle, Meringue Oasis, Sunnyside City, and Pavlova Ruins. By the time you finish Sunnyside City, you have the sentry egg fully fixed, and it turns out this place is Sulfrus' hometown. He's not too pleasant about it though. You meet his dad with his team of researchers at Omelette HQ, and Sulfrus gets a not so happy family reunion. He presents the sentry egg to them, something you three have spent the entire journey on piecing back together, and instead of being even merely impressed, he just says, "Cool. Source?" Being ashamed, Sulfrus took the sentry egg for himself and ran off. So you and your friends went after him, and found out he's gonna utilize the egg's power with the help of another comet passing through the skies. Finally, you confront Sulfrus and beat him with the power of friendship and whistling. And then you remember you didn't bond enough with your new friends, so Sulfrus fell down Undertale style to his death. And that's the story of Egg Hunt 2026 The Grand Express. Just kidding, that's the bad ending. I bet you weren't even expecting there were going to be multiple endings. But yeah, that, in short, is the story of the game. And the more I look and think about Sulfrus' story, I realize it's relevant to egg hunts as a whole. Because for years, the community has been wanting egg hunts to return. And instead of doing that, Roblox went into different directions and crafted stuff like the hatch, which ultimately didn't do that well. Roblox had moved on from that old concept, and when the community saw the egg hunts they oh so loved years ago weren't coming back, they took matters into their own hands and created their own. Additionally, think about the entirety of the story. We have the center egg broken and fragmented across the place. Then we get back all those pieces and present it to an audience. Similarly, this is the game. Studio Koi Koi takes all these egg hunt ideas and put them all together, culminating into their vision, which is the Grand Express, presenting it to us, the community, as the audience. That makes it a pretty darn cool parallel if I say so myself. I think it's awesome we get a cohesive story in an egg hunt game, unofficial, but still. Not like the past hunts never dabble in storytelling, but I think this one's the most profound out of them all. But let's pretend I know what I'm talking about and talk about the actual gameplay. Egg Hunt 2026 has what you would expect from an egg hunt. You go around the locations and help NPCs, solve problems and puzzles, and find the eggs. Anyway, there are two kinds of eggs, golden eggs and special eggs. Special eggs are fully designed, modeled, and are purchasable UGCs once you discover them in-game first. Yes, you buy them with Robux, they're not free. They can be if it was an official event, not pointing fingers at anyone. 3 of the eggs are actual eggs that you can get for free, each with a variant for early hunters, albeit they're only available if you've purchased the game. On the other hand, golden eggs are extra side eggs you can come across on your hunt. They're kinda everywhere, can't miss them. While exploring the chapters, you'll come across these purple teleporter thingies that warps you to bonus side areas. These are where a ton of the golden eggs reside. Both the special and golden eggs are used to power up the Grand Express and unlock the next chapters. I guess this is where my first criticism comes. It's not really clear what makes a golden egg and a special egg different, aside from the value and designs, obviously. Like sometimes I'll just run around and get a special egg near a checkpoint, but I need to hop across these long gaps just for a golden egg. While we're here, some of these golden eggs were horrific. Chapter 5 especially for me had about 3 painful ones to go through. If you've been through it, you know which one I'm talking about. It's the traffic one, that fuck-ass traffic one. I hate traffic torment. The baseball one didn't take me too long, but I can see how it can with this RNG aspect. The other one, we'll get to it in a bit. In each chapter, you'll see Pip morph into various tools that are going to be used throughout the locations, like a hammer, climbing picks, and other stuff. I think this is a really cool way to implement mechanic. My favorite tool is definitely the hammer, cause I'm a 5-year-old and I like smashing stuff. The drill, the drill. I don't hate it. In fact, it's one of the coolest tools from the selection. This goes back to the other golden egg in chapter 5. Sometimes when drilling into these types of pipes in specific, I would half of the time get a bug drill. This absolutely annoys me since the thing you're trying to go through emphasizes so much on timing things correctly. This type of drilling doesn't appear a whole lot, but when it does, you know you're gonna spend a bit of time there drilling the same spot over and over again. The last tool you obtain, the umbrella, it's a nice throwback to Yolks, and it functions the exact same way as it used to. Best thing is you obtain it after getting all the eggs and entering fracture space. Directly the same as the one in Yolks in terms of teaming and difficulty. But yeah, aside from that, the gameplay is pretty smooth. It's the same moveset from Yolks minus the wall jumping, which is a good removal because now I do just stick to the walls like I'm Spider-Man or something. Ledge grabbing does feel a bit inconsistent. Sometimes I feel like I should be grabbing this edge, but I'm not for some reason, and sometimes it's the contrary. I don't know where this part fits, but it is gameplay related, so I'll stick it right after gameplay. Let's talk about the cross-chapter stuff. I think story-wise it's great. You get to see characters from different chapters interact with each other. They have conversations sometimes, and you can learn more about their past and bond closer to them by sharing food made by recipes obtained from all the locations, except chapter 6 because it doesn't have any recipes. And then they even get to interact with things in the chapter with other characters. You see this happen a lot when getting the special aids for the good ending. It's really nice, because now it makes these chapters and locations interconnect. They feel like real locations you're traveling to by the train. Not like the previous egg hunts with separate worlds weren't connected. Okay, some of them definitely weren't. But with stuff like Yolks and the Lost Eggs, the characters are very much contained in their own worlds, with connection being the thing you use to travel to that world, like a portal or a magical book. Saying all that, the cross-chapter stuff can be a bit frustrating and confusing to handle. Say you're in Chapter 1, Florentine Forest, and you see this egg located in a cave underneath. You don't see a path anywhere. Try to get there a couple times, gave up. The actual way to get this egg is by using the lantern tool from chapter 3 and using it on this blazing green fire to traverse an obby to reach the egg. You see what I'm getting at? The previous egg hunts never really had chapter crossing, so it was a bit surprising to see it here. The benefit of realizing it's a thing is that you can expect more of it to appear in future chapters. And man, they definitely do. Up until you get the lantern in chapter 3, you couldn't finish chapter 1, and up until you get the drill in chapter 5, you couldn't finish chapter 2. This isn't a massive issue as I'm trying to make it sound, it just annoyed me a bit throughout the game. Also, this shopkeeper appears in every chapter and is basically the grumpy guy from Gravity Falls. Now, from an artistic standpoint, I think these locations look absolutely majestic. Love the concept art, they're amazing. Each has unique themes and all of them possess this kinda cartoony and vibrant style that's present throughout all the chapters, which I really adore. It reminds me a bit of Find Everything, and that's funny considering they consulted Polyheads for the game. My absolute favorite chapter design-wise is Chapter 5, Sunnyside City, despite the horrifying Golden Age trials mentioned earlier. I love how modern and futuristic the city looks, and that's supported by the citizens counting on AI for their daily lives as they doomscroll and drink blended juice all day. The city is divided into 3 different parts, each giving off different vibes. The lower level being an obvious nod to Chinatowns, and the upper level filled with rich, selfish people, similar to real-life society. The era does reminds me a bit of the aesthetics of Frittata era, which is nice. Talking about the opposite, I hate chapters 3 and 6, not because of the writing or anything, but simply how annoying navigating them are. Chapter 3 especially suffers a lot due to how linear it is, and having to open that door with the 4 colored lanterns every time you switch servers is just a pain. It's not helping how the lantern is one of the buggiest tools out of the 6. I know fast travel exists in the chapter, but regardless. Chapter 6 on the other hand is just brutal to get through. The volcano geyser thing is horrible, and that's just a pure skill issue for me. The hole in the wall part is also very evil, and I hate it with every fiber in my body. The chapter designs are great. I think chapter 6 has some of the best out of all of them. As mentioned earlier, you can actually get these for your avatar by purchasing them in-game. I have a lot of favorites, so I'll just throw them on screen here. Some eggs like the crystallized and treasure ones being consistent is awesome, but I would like it if the final egg was a Fabergé egg similar to the past egg hunts. But the Century egg does look pretty neat. Also, getting the sequels for the Ketchup egg from 2018 and the Guy Gets egg from 2008 was fucking awesome. And the Eggventure, I guess. Oh yeah, and the boiled one is here. Hello. I see people slamming on the game for the characters being 2D sprites instead of 3D. Pip's the only fully animated character, and even that, he only has like 3 animations. But still, he's pretty cool. The others being 2D doesn't bother me that much, although I do wish they were a bit more expressive in their sprites. They only really do little bounces when they're talking, and a little shimmy with particles emitting off of them. And yeah, that is a nice touch, but I wish they had more expressions. Like maybe Lunaris with a shy or nervous face when talking to Sulfrus during that bit at Songhua, or make Wilhelm more excited when he's getting free in the train. I think tiny stuff like that can really elevate the characters more. Pip has a couple 2D sprites that he cycles through, and Sulfrus has a lot of sprite changes during and after the boss fight session, so it'd be really nice if the rest of the characters get the same treatment. I don't really have anything else to criticize art-wise, as I think that's one of the strongest aspects of the game. This part's not gonna be that long cause I'm no musician, so I don't know many terms and all that. I think the background music for the chapters are pretty good. They complement the areas well. Beaslake always cooks good stuff, so it's not really a surprise. But I just wanna say I fucking love the credits music. Oh my god, this thing has been in my ears on loop for the past few days. The sound effects also elevated each location, making them more immersive and helped it come alive. Little sounds like the fire crackles from the torches and the birds chirping in the city are really nice touches. Also, the little music Pip makes when he sings is a genius way to allude back to the past egg hunts. Like, I cannot just hear Pip sing this and not get flashbacks Ratatouille style. Most of the short tunes are callbacks to Yacht Tales, but there's also several to other years. You can tell the game is constantly looking back. It's not doing it for the sake of fan service, but taking some remains of the old and crafting it into something new. Egg Hunt 2026 is a beautiful game. I think in terms of continuity, it's an absolute gigantic breakthrough of what Egg Hunts could be. Yes, it costs money to enter, but I think that shouldn't allow people to be like guinea pigs munching watermelons and just rip the game into shreds without fully seeing it, because there's so much good things to see behind the price tag. Little details like this central locations being named after egg-related food are what makes me think this game is worth it. Sure, you can get like 2 or 3 games on Steam with that much money. Undertale, Deltarune, A Hat in Time, every other indie game. These are undeniably great games, praised a ton by their community. Yes, I can get these games, but what if I don't want to? What if those aren't the experience I'm looking for? What if I just don't enjoy Hollow Knight, a massive Metroidvania experience, as much as this 3D collectathon platformer? Is this game ripping people's nostalgia feeling for Egg Hunts? Probably, considering the large amount of references to the past years. I believe it's more of a tribute, honoring the past and celebrating the event as a whole. The story of the game revolves around the idea of saving and wanting this concept to continue. The Egg Hunts. It mirrors the large part of the community that screams, "We want more egg hunts, but not death hunts like 2019 and 2020. And the game answers that by saying, well, maybe that's okay. Maybe we'll never get an egg hunt like 2019, 2013, ever again. But we can take what we love about it and move forward. In a state of a platform that's been shooting itself in the foot lately, this is the best you'll get. Maybe we all need to let go of it and write down a new road towards yonder, never looking back." Maybe I'm just talking nonsense. If you don't end up liking the game even after peeking into the demo, that's fine. That just means it's not your cup of tea. But for me, someone who's been craving a good egg hunt after whatever Roblox did last year, it's fun, fantastic, and I want more of it. Or I just have terrible taste in video games. Yeah, call me a glazer. Either way, I love the game. I don't know if they plan on making another for next year. I mean, they did state that's where their funds are headed to. But with the so far negative reception from the community, I don't see that being the case. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching, and oh my god, I think this game gave me severe back pains.